Hi, Dr. Chris here. You probably already know that. Anyways, I got a call about your final paper and realizing that I haven't said anything more specific about that than what is in your syllabus. We're going to stick to the syllabus for our point of reference. If you want to grab your syllabus or pull it up, then you can follow along with me. But here is the assignment. You're to design a comprehensive disciple-making plan for the congregation you serve in or you attend. Now, of course, if it is one that you attend and you're not in any kind of a leadership position, it's a model that you're making, maybe one that you could share with your pastor or someone who oversees your ministry program, your education program, if you will. But you're to make sure that you develop this discipleship program and be sure that it accounts for your congregation's context, right? Who's there, who's not there, who is in your community, that it envelops all ages and stages in your plan, whether or not those ages or stages currently attend. If you were to all of a sudden have families, how are you going to help those families move through, say, a discipleship funnel? How are they going to become disciples? How are families and their children, I almost said in particular, but their children, keep that in mind. How do children move from being pre-Christian to Christian and not stopping with their baptism or profession of faith? How do they, or confirmation for some of us, how do they stay? How do we keep them engaged and moving into becoming disciples and then missionaries in their own rights? So your leadership recruitment needs to be in there, how you're going to recruit leaders, how you're going to train and mentor people and those leaders, how you're going to develop and apprentice people, right? How are you going to mobilize and coach them? How are you going to evaluate them? Details then, let's just stop there for a moment, okay? I really want you to think this through. We've covered all of this and saying this can't happen in my congregation, this won't happen. Well, guess what? If you say it won't, it won't. And there's a big difference between can't and won't. And I find so often we say can't when really what we mean is won't. I want you to dream. I want you to look at who you have. One person. If all you have is one person that you can disciple that one person. Two people. Do you not have two people that you can work with? Dream and envision and make it happen. Pray. Ask Jesus. I don't know, I've probably said this to you along the way. I started I made my profession of faith at 22 years of age. It was an inner city church. They had no nursery, but that second Sunday I showed up when I brought my daughter, Kat, who was 15, 18 months at that time. Two women, I had no idea there was no nursery because that day there was a nursery and there was follow-up and they were there and they were interested and they invited me back, and the next week there was a nursery and they were praying. I didn't know, but they had been praying for us to come, and a children's ministry started that day. So be thinking about that. How, when the right person shows up, or maybe it's not the right person, but pray and ask the Lord to bring you who you need, and you'll be very surprised that the way God honors our prayers, right? So I want you to work through the development, and then here's the next piece. What's your what next? This isn't some banal exercise, some get your paper in. I want you to make a commitment of what you're going to do next. Maybe it's that you are a layperson without leadership responsibilities or opportunities, and so maybe that's talking to your pastor about this. And And if you are in some kind of position where you can make a difference, then do it. Tell me in your paper, who are you going to talk to? When are you going to talk to them? Where are you going to talk to them? Get the details down and get it on your calendar. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. The kingdom is too important. This world is too important. Jesus and what he does and he wants to do and what he can do, that's too important. Look at the syllabus, look at your paper. If you have any questions, call me. Have fun with it. No stressing. Just have some fun with it. I noticed too on the syllabus it says it's due at noon on the 21st. I'm realizing that the 21st is a Sunday. Shame on me. So if you're able to have it in on the 20th by noon, that would be great. If it's the 22nd by noon, that will be okay too. So why don't we just say this? You've got a one-day extension on your paper. It's due by noon to me. It's due to me at noon by noon. We start taking points off if it's later than noon. Noon on the 22nd. It's a Monday. All right. I'll see you on the discussion boards. Bye-bye. Hi, I'm Tenny-Brittian, and I get to walk with you, and we get to walk together for the next 8 weeks with our conflict utilization course. Very much looking forward to that. Doesn't that sound a little odd to really look forward to a conflict utilization course? Well, maybe there's something to be said for looking forward to it because you're going to learn how to utilize conflict. And right now, probably conflict is not feeling good. You're probably feeling really icky about it. There are all kinds of icky. Hi, I'm Tenny-Brittian, and I am looking forward to walking with you for 8 weeks through conflict utilization. I know, who'd ever think that we could look forward to conflict, let alone conflict utilization, but I am. So far, Christian education, or actually it's education and leader development, has been my favorite course to teach, but I think this is going to be right up there with it, if not maybe even the favorite course when it comes down to it. I know conflict from left to right and right to left. I was a minister, a young minister, an up-and-coming minister in Georgia. I had amazing mentors. I was lifted up. I was apprenticed and discipled, given opportunities to teach and to preach long before I was ever ordained. And I got to Kansas, my first pastorate, and it was absolute hell. Yes, we'll probably be doing a little bit of swearing on these forums from time to time, and that is okay. Just keep it reasonable, okay? Anyways, it was absolute and sheer hell. I can tell you that I was in that church for 26 very, very long months. And some of the good pieces that came out of it, too, of note. One is that I learned about conflict, and I was able to take a class and to pick up a few more mentors, the beginning of some mentorships around conflict and just how to survive it. I also got a spiritual director at that time and completed a certificate in spiritual direction that taught me a lot and held me in very good stead for taking care of the spiritual piece of me. I have spent over 10 years on regional staffs and in regional ministry positions, and I can't begin to tell you how much conflict intervention I've done. It's no secret, probably, hopefully not a secret to you, that people can smell conflict when they walk into your church. If you have it, people can smell it. They know it's there. And if they stay, it's either because they have a savior complex or and they want to help you fix it, or because they are drawn to conflict and are probably conflictual people themselves, or they thrive on conflict in some way or another. They are not the people that you want to be there. We're going to talk about all of this and more in the class in the coming weeks. What I want for you to do now, though, is click over there on Let's Introduce Ourselves and go ahead and say a few words about who you are, where you live. If you're in a church, I'm sure you're in a church. If you're in a class given by a seminary, tell us what church you go to, if you hold any positions in the church, what those positions might be. And we'll go there. From there, you're going to see every week a video. I call them vid lectures. It will be a short to long, who knows, it depends, introduction to the week, a few pieces I want you to hold on to, that I want to stand out to you. They will be supplemental to your readings. They may in some way add to your readings, emphasize your readings. Vid lectures are all of that and more, just like you would find in a college or a seminary class. There are the readings that you'll have. Your reading will be done this week. This first week, your reading will be done throughout the week. Very little. But then you'll have your readings to get ahead on in the weeks to come. So you'll have your readings, you'll have your books, the 3 books, your readings, your additional readings. From time to time, I'm going to give you some articles. The vid lectures are going to include information that are in books that are no longer in print, or that are snippets of books that I just don't want to add a whole bunch of books on to you or for you. And so I'll add pieces and learnings, again, snippets in vid lectures as needed to round things out. Let's see, then you'll have forum questions. Generally, there's a content question and then a more subjective question meant to make it your own, to personalize it. My 2 of my key pieces in these courses are, one, I'm here to help you be successful, but you can't be any more successful than you allow yourself to be. How about that? As a friend of mine said just today, I'm not going to work any harder than you do at your being successful. How about that? So, but I'm here to help you be successful in this course, and in any way I can. And I'm also committed to everything I teach is to equip and empower and encourage you to be the best that you can be in your vocation, in your life, in your ministry. I think that's all I want to say for now. Just welcome. I'm excited and looking forward to being with you and to learning who you are, finding out more about you, about your ministry setting, and to learning from you. All right. Thanks for being with me, letting me be with you. Bye-bye. So hi, it is Chris Tenny-Brittian again on weeks. Hi, Chris Tenny-Brittian here again, week 6 of our class on conflict utilization with the ministry training program at Phillips Theological Seminary. Well, this week we're continuing to talk about strategies. It's our 3rd and last week to talk about that. And I, as you may see, am shooting from a mall, the mall, Columbia Mall in Columbia, Missouri. Well, I'm doing this feeling very conspicuous, very oddly, but what better place to make a recording about conflict utilization and about strategies? Because the bottom line is, when it comes to working with and dealing with and deciding how to work with conflict, you feel very bare and laid open and conspicuous, just like making a recording at the mall. Well, this week what we're going to do is a couple of tests, quizzes, analyses of how you deal with conflict, of your leadership style, of your conflict style, because these are so important for dealing with and deciding with on what you want to use, on what tactics you'll use, on what approaches you'll use when you're confronted with working with conflict. I'm smiling at the people who are smiling at me. Oh, that when you work with conflict, people will smile at you. Often they don't. In fact, more often than not, I just tell people, when I leave here, I wish that you would be feeling better than when I came, but the truth is, you'll probably feel worse. And that's just the way that it is. We each have our own style, and that is so, so important. I have taken a lot of flack for one of my best ways of addressing conflict when I'm with people in a room to intervene, and that is to remember my 16 years of Southern drawl that I acquired in Atlanta. It includes speaking slowly, tilting my head, and bringing the drawl back just a little. I wear very feminine clothes, dresses always, and I wear very nice, generally sweet-smelling perfume. Anything to come come off, to be less, look less aggressive than people dealing with conflict often are accused of being. Women, please know that there is a very fine line between being aggressive and being assertive, at least in people's minds. When women are strong, we're often called aggressive, and quite often we are called bitches. I mean, there's no other way to get around that. So to be assertive, you really have to be careful. I've never wanted to be a man, but I will tell you that there are times I've thought, wow, it would be easier to be a man in those times when my husband can say the exact same thing I would say, and even say it more forcefully, and he can walk and he can breeze through there. He may intimidate people, but he's still able to get away with it. I can say the exact same thing, and without my drawl and my dress, I can be seen as being quite aggressive, as I've said. I have been called that bitch word more than one time. So it's knowing our style, learning what we're comfortable with, learning that we don't wear red into a room, watching our power suits, our power language. Again, looking at what works for you to address conflicts. So that's all, as I'm saying, part of strategizing. You're going to have to do some clicking this week to take these, they're not exactly quizzes, these analyses, I guess that is the best word. Quizzes may be that. Take them, be serious, be honest, and let's just see where you come out. And let's look at the questions, answer the questions, and get an idea of how we can bring this all together. Well, as always, I'm looking forward to seeing you on the discussion forum. Hope that you've had a great weekend, and that this is going to be a great week. We'll have a great week together, won't we? All right, take care. Bye-bye.